Dear residents of East Coast, dear brothers and sisters from the labor movement, dear fellow Singaporeans, East Coast GRC is a same but different type of GRC. Take for example, rallies. In most rallies you attend, you see the contesting parties, they scold each other, they shout at each other, they fire at each other. Not in East Coast. You notice all my fellow candidates, we never say anything about the opposition or our opponents, because as far as we're concerned, this general election is about we serving you. We care for you. We care in East Coast is not just a slogan. We live by that, week by week, month by month, year by year. I give you an illustration. We know in Bedok, many of residents are growing old. So as they grow old, they worry about healthcare costs, cost of hospitalization. So a few years ago, many people say, in Singapore, healthcare costs are so expensive that you can afford to die, you cannot afford to fall sick. Correct or not? Correct only a few years ago. Since then, we have MediShield Life. We have Pioneer Generation Package, PGP. But let me ask you, how many residents truly appreciate, understand the benefits of MediShield Life and PGP? Today, this evening, I give you a quick test. A quick test. Do you know that a person, for example, go to hospital for a major operation, intensive care unit for 2 nights, 10 days in the wards for recovery, the total bill may come out to about $20,000 to $30,000. Do you know? You don't know, right? Now you know. Yeah. And do you know that's the one best way of lowering your cost of burden is don't go to A class, no subsidies. Don't go to B1, only 20% subsidies. Better go for B2, 2/3 subsidies. C class, even better, 80% subsidies. So therefore, for someone who go to B2, your 20,000, 30,000, after government subsidies, will drop to about 8,000 to 10,000. A lot of saving through subsidies, but still expensive, correct or not? Say yes, yeah. Yes, correct. And do you know that the second thing you can do after government subsidies is buy insurance, MediShield. If you're on MediShield, your burden will drop 8,000, 10,000, by about half to 4,000 to 5,000. Is that good? Yeah. But is that good enough? No. Yeah. Because MediShield today covers you only up to 92 years old. Secondly, if your parents, your grandparents, if they are old, they're pre-existing illnesses, they're excluded. Or their pre-existing illnesses will be excluded. Yeah. And most of all, for some residents, 4,000, 5,000 is still a lot of money. So come 1st November with MediShield Life. Under MediShield Life, your 4,000, 5,000 will drop to about 3,000. Drop to about 3,000. On top of that, it'll cover you for life. No age limit. We won't stop at 92. That's why I call MediShield Life. Yeah. But most of all Singaporeans, all PR, will all be included automatically, regardless of including your pre-existing illnesses. So when I say this to my residents, I ask them, ho bo, ho. Yeah. Ho bo. Yeah. Then, to truly care for them, I say, look, every 3 good news must have 1 bad news. And the bad news is MediShield Life is not free, you've got to pay for it. How much? What Jay? I say if you are 86 years old, 85, 86 years old, your annual premium, 1,500. Huh? Ulibo, mana u? Yeah, I say not to worry. Pioneer generation, government firstly subsidize 60%. So after subsidies, your remaining premium, maybe 600, maybe 700. Auntie, ulibo, lapat cipa, mana u? Yeah, I say not to worry. Every year, your pioneer generation, more than 80 years old, more than 81, every year government will give you $800 in your Medisave. You take the 800 to pay for the balance premium, go chuna. Yeah. So when I told them that if you are in the 80s, 81 and above pioneer generation, you'll be able to enjoy Medishield Life for free for life. I tell you, wow, they feel so reassured. This is how we care for our residents. Really make sure they understand, address their concern. Those at 70 will say, hey, Mr. Lim, what about me? Also free, ah? I say, cannot lah, huh? For them free, you're going to pay a little bit. How much? I say, mid-70s, your premium, 1,001, 1,002 per year. Yeah. Government give discount. For those of you 71 to 75, government give you $400 a year. 76 to 80, $600 a year. You take the discount, you take your 406 to pay for the premium. Net, how much? I say about 100 to 200. Oh, hang, right? Yeah. Then those 66 to 70 say, what about us? They are free, they want 200. What about us? I say, your case also got discount, 200 Medisave per year from the government. Net, half price. You pay half of what you're paying today. Wow, hang. Then the rest of us, what about us? Too young to be pioneer generation. Not to worry. Since January this year, additional Medisave. NTC people all know, right? Additional Medisave, 1 percentage point more. All right. And on top of that, 2/3 of Singaporeans will receive permanent discount from the government. And on top of that, there will be a transitional subsidy over next 4 to 5 years. So in other words, doesn't matter whether young or old, right? You can afford Medishield Life. So they say, wow, wholesale, wholesale. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Then some will ask, definitely, Mr. Lim, but before I go to hospital, I got to see the doctor a lot of times, polyclinic, SOC, also cost money. I said, no problem. We also think of that. I said, you go to a polyclinic or SOC, say medication, $100. $100. I said, if you're a foreigner, you walk in, how much do you pay? Cepat lah, foreigner, 100 means pay 100. I said, yeah, correct, no subsidies. But what if you're PR? I say, oh, don't know. Tell you, PR, 25% discount. So 100, you pay 75. How about Ang Tengki? Yeah, I say PR Lang Tengki, 25%. Le Ang Tengki, half price, 50% discount. So $100, you pay $50. What about the low-income household? Charge card, blue card, orange card. After Singaporean discount, half price, those charge card, another half price. $50 become $25. Yeah. Then after that, how about pioneer generation, Pun si u. For you, another half price. So if you have IC, blue card, orange card, plus PG card, $100, 50, 25, $12.50. Hobo! Yeah. This is what we do in East Coast. Right, make sure, firstly, make sure government policy is good, and secondly, make sure that the people really understand how we care for them. Now, let me switch to Mandarin a little bit. 我的父亲他在1945年的时候17岁，在抗日战争过后，来到先去香港，因为那时候中国情况很糟， 他跟他的叔叔就到了香港。到了香港之后，看到香港说：“哎呦，香港可能比中国一样糟。”他跟他叔叔说：“我要去新加坡。”他的叔叔说：“新加坡太远了，我年纪也不小了，你要去的话，你自己去吧。我不告诉你你爸爸呀，所以我祖父不知道。我爸爸就坐了船来到新加坡。上岸之后，看到新加坡那个时候情况，1945年，他差点晕倒。中国很差，香港很差，新加坡可能会更差啊。可是没办法了，老远跑到新加坡，晕船吐到那个胆汁都吐出来了，青色的，你没有看过吐到青色的，他说受不了了，没办法，就在这里落地更生。要怎么更生呢？去新加坡河去做苦力，搬那个米袋。17岁，身体还没有完全发育，所以做了几天受不了了。后来就去路边人家那个小贩kikok 米他不会煮面啦，不会他会敲 kikok 啦所以人家那个摊主是煮面，他是每天去 kikok， 然后去收盘碗等等。那么到了晚上，摊主回家咯，叫我爸爸要在那个路边过夜，照顾这个摊位。那么晚上去那里冲凉就去用公共厕所，是 Chinatown 公共厕所，附近的公共厕所。不过这个公共厕所白天是有热光，晚上是黑漆漆的啦所以他听说这个厕所闹鬼怎么办？他说没变晚上他就冲凉嘛，就去冲凉。那么为了壮胆嘛，就唱歌。他是潮州人嘛，就唱潮州歌。后来那个谣言就传得很深，他说肯定这个厕所公厕所肯定闹鬼，而且闹的鬼是潮州鬼后来我爸爸跟我的妈妈认识之后就结婚，生下我们6个子女。所以今年我们庆祝 GE2015 50周年纪念，我在想，如果当年我爸爸没有坐那船到新加坡的话，今天我可能是中国人所以想想嘿那么1965年，新加坡跟马来西亚分家因为我们李光耀先生他说他要的国家是一个不分语言、不分种族、平等对待的国家，所以我们在马来西亚生存不下去，因为马来西亚的宗旨就是马来西亚是属于马来人的国家，后来没办法分离。所以我想，如果当年1965年没有跟马来西亚分离的话，今天你我都是马来西亚人嘿所以今喜年，我们能够以新加坡的身份来庆祝我们的国庆，我觉得是很值得庆幸。所以作为一个新加坡公民，我多年来在问我自己，就是这个国家对我这么好，那么我是要怎样办法好好的报答这个国家？那么我觉得最好的报答方法就是尽我的全力照顾我们的居民。Now, I'm with the Ministry of Manpower. Obviously, the issue that I concern most about is jobs. Because in NTUC, in the labor movement, we believe that job is the best welfare. It's the best thing you can give to any Singaporean, the best welfare. So with that, as labor movement together with tripartite partners, we've always worked together to make sure that the labor market in Singapore will be tight, that workers have good job, good pay, able to live a good life. Now recently, there have been some discussion about whether our high manpower growth policy was the right one. Many people are not happy that there are too many foreigners in Singapore. Some feel that these foreigners are here to take away our jobs. And many feel that it was a mistake of the PAP government to let in so many foreign workers. So today, let me share this with you. Why? Why did we went for this high manpower growth policy? Why do we let in more, those days, more foreign workers? The answer is basically, we'll go back to 1997. 1997, Singapore was hit by the Asian financial crisis. That was the year I first joined the NTUC in 1996, so a year later, financial crisis. That year alone, almost 29,000 workers were retrenched, 29,000. So NTUC can tell you the kind of fear, the kind of uncertainty, the kind of pain that the retrenched workers have to face when they are retrenched. Then came 2000, the bursting of the bubble.com. Again, another crisis. A year later, 2001, 911, another crisis. 2 years later, 2003, SARS, another crisis. So by then, I was in the cabinet. So we discussed 1997, 2000, 2001, 2003, with no idea how many more ups and downs are ahead of us, because the world economy has become a lot more volatile. So finally, we decided we must find ways to provide better protection to our Singaporean workers. So we decided that whenever the wind blows, catch the wind. Since Singapore, our workforce is small, we said, no, let's expand our workforce. Any company come to us that have a good project for Singapore, I need more workers, yes, we allow them to bring in more workers. So because of that, we were able to provide, in our view, better protection for Singaporean workers. So let me share with you, these are the concrete outcomes of how we actually protect our workers more. For example, we've always believed that the foreign workers in Singapore will serve as a buffer. So when there's a downturn, they can help us to buffer the impact. So let me share this example with you. 2000, 2001, 2003, during that period, right, 911, SARS, and so on. In fact, during the 3-year period from 2001 to 2003, the number of local workers in employment during that 3 years went up by 35,000. But during the same period, the number of foreign workers in Singapore went down by 70,000. So in other words, companies in Singapore let go 70,000 foreign workers and hire 35,000 local workers. That is what we meant by buffer. Because of a foreign worker in Singapore, they serve as a buffer. Global financial crisis, just recently, 2008, 2009, same thing. During that period, the world went through a lot of ups and downs. Many countries, unemployment went up. But in Singapore, unemployment went up shortly for 1 quarter and came down again. And during that year, number of foreign workers in Singapore dropped by 4,000. Dropped by 4,000 because of the downturn. But what about local workers? It did not drop by 4,000. It went up by 40,000. Another example, because of this higher growth policy, labor market was tight. When labor market was tight, when companies cannot find workers, meantime, at the same time, they're making better profit, what do? They give our workers higher salary, higher wage increases. In fact, for the last 4 years, for the last 10 years, the wages of workers in Singapore, whether it's a medium wage or bottom 20%, have all gone up in real terms, faster than inflation. So therefore, let me assure you, if you have any doubt that why did we pursue that higher manpower growth policy, I want to assure you, we did it for you. We did it for you. If this higher manpower growth policy is good, then why change? Why change? Now, every problem is a solution. So every old problem is a new solution, but unfortunately, every new solution will lead to a new problem. Our high growth policy was good for the workers, but after 10 years, we have a problem. The ratio of foreign workers to Singaporean workers to foreign workers start to drop because foreign workers grow faster than the local workers. So from 3 to 1, 3 Singaporean workers to 1 foreign worker, the ratio dropped to 2 to 1. If we continue that policy, the 2 to 1 one day could end up becoming 1 to 1. And beyond that, Singaporeans will wake up one day to find ourselves among the minority in the workforce. So as a government, we say no, that is not the way to go. So we have to find ways to grow our economy, create jobs, take care of people, a new way forward. So we decided to switch from a higher manpower growth to a lower manpower growth. So therefore, we tighten on the inflow of foreign manpower. Since 2010, the decision was taken in 2010 before the last GE. So anybody who tell you that the reason why government changed the policy is because of 2011, I want you to go and check the record in our parliament. Because in budget 2010, 1 year, 3 months before GE 2011, DPM Taman, who is also finance minister, already announced this policy shift in the parliament, 2010 February. Now, so what is the outcome? Since we talk about tightening, is it for real? Some Singaporeans say, talk only, but still see many foreigners. Let me give you this real number. Firstly, foreign PMEs, people coming under employment pass, under S-pass. The number per year dropped from 45,000 a year to last year, 13,000. The drop is 70%. The drop in the growth, 70%. It's a big drop. Of this number, EP S-pass, the drop in the EP, employment pass, people with university degrees, is even more drastic. From 30,000 a year a few years ago to 1,000 a year each year in the last 3 years. So therefore, I want you to know when we promise something, we deliver. When we say, if we cannot deliver because it's no good for you, we will not promise you. For example, when we're debating this in the parliament, some members of the parliament, not necessarily from the PAP, suggested, in fact, championed for complete freeze. No more increase in foreign manpower. We say slow down. They say slow down, not good enough. Complete freeze. Why didn't we take that path? Popular. Singapore very happy. Wow, freeze, very good. We say no. Why? Many of our SME in Singapore, they all employ foreign workers. With this tightening, many of the SMEs are already feeling the pain. You read newspaper, some have closed shop because they said business is there but cannot find workers. Can you imagine? If we have freeze the foreign workers completely, how many more SME would have died by now? Yeah. Some may say, so what? We have more than 100,000 SMEs. Die law? Yeah. Let me tell you why, when it's NTUC and today MOM, why I'm so concerned for the SME. They account for 70% of our workers. Every 10 workers in Singapore, 7 work in SMEs. So if the SME sector goes down, tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of Singaporeans, their jobs also die. Yeah, so that's the reason why we did not take that path. Now, because of the slowdown in our manpower growth, as a result, the companies have no choice to strengthen their Singaporean core. So, for example, in the last few years, and we intend to continue that, is to maintain the ratio of local workers to foreign workers at 2 to 1. So foreign workforce in Singapore can only grow as fast as our local workforce, so that the ratio of 2 to 1 will be maintained. Obviously, some will say that, is it real or not? Because I look around, I see so many foreigners again. So 2 to 1, is it real? Let me assure you, it is real. Why? If we cannot deliver, we don't promise. The 2-to-1 is real. In fact, I give you another piece of good news. If we take away construction, I think many people in Singapore don't want to work in construction. And that sector is dominated mainly by foreign workers, 7-to-1. 1 Singaporean to 7 foreign workers. If we take away the construction sector, for the other sectors, manufacturing services, all add together, the ratio of foreign workers and local workers is actually 1/4 foreign workers, 3/4 local workers. And of that 3/4 local workers, a vast majority are Singaporean. So this is where we are today. Looking ahead, what more can we do? In fact, this is only the beginning of our challenge. To tighten on foreign manpower is difficult, but we got it done. But having tightened on the foreign manpower, now that our workforce growth has slowed down, how do we grow from here? How do we ensure that our economy remains strong? So in the coming years, coming decades, we have many challenges. Firstly, how to make sure that the economy will remain competitive. We have to pursue the manufacturing of the future, the services of the future, the construction of the future. In other words, to create the jobs of the future. At the same time, through Skill Future, we have to retrain every Singaporean, young and old, like what Yishan mentioned earlier. We must make sure that every Singaporean will have that skill for the future. With the jobs of the future to remain competitive, with the skill of the future to remain employable, you put them together, then Singaporeans in the future will be able to pursue career of the future. Because with the skill, they can take on a job and build a career. And this is our vision, and this is our commitment. Die, we are going to try, give our very best to make sure that Singapore will be among the first nation in the world to be able to move into the future with jobs of the future, skill of the future, and career of the future.亲爱的居民，时间不多了，让我讲几句话。在结束之前，我跟马里基一样，4年半前到乌罗来，那个时候我们是陌生人。那么在过去4年半，我在乌洛跟我们的居民紧密交流之后，我交了很多好朋友，所以这是我的一生的一个很的荣幸。那么在未来的日子里面，当然我们知道，我们居民需要关怀的地方还是很多因为举个例子，我们的人口的老化，我们要将使到乌洛不单只是生活环境能够好好的照顾我们的居民，包括年长居民，更重要的就是如何使到乌洛能够是个温馨的家园互相照顾的家园。所以这次大选，我希望你们会珍惜你手中的每一张票，希望你会考虑支持我们，让我们继续的为您和您同心协力，为国为民，把我们的生活做得更好。So dear residents, the last 50 years were very good for Singapore, very good for Singaporeans. But we want the next 50 years to be even better. This better future is not sitting out there somewhere waiting to happen by itself. Actually, this better future is in our hand, waiting for us to create. So in the coming GE, please cast your vote wisely, value every vote in your hand, and we hope you'll vote for a team that will truly care for you, care with you, and care for Singapore.